of some of the security that they were able to talk about before the president arrived. Today, Terry Bowman talked with a representative of the Secret Service and the state police about some of the security types of information that they can tell us after the president leaves. Terry?
Long before the president arrived on Tuesday, plans and preparations were being made to ensure his safety. Secret Service agents arrived 2 weeks early to investigate and strategically map out every hall, room, and even closet here at the State House. When these men come in to actually survey the building, what are they looking for and where do they look for it?
Well, number one, we're looking for the best route from the arrival point to point A, wherever he's going, such as in the House of Representatives, which is the most easy access to get from point A to point B, which would be less exposed to the crowd, which would be the most secure from the standpoint of explosives. Maybe they could be set there prior to. So all these are considerations that we look at. We even have the elevators checked. Even prior to the use of the president, we'll have a safety check made of the elevators.
What were some of the things that actually took place here in the State House, as far as some of the people were asked to leave their drawers unlocked, their lockers unlocked, so that the Secret Service could check everything out? When they check things out, how far do they go?
Well, we don't rummage through personal articles per se, or steal somebody's Clark bar from their desk. But what we're basically doing is to, in this case, where we're checking lockers, rooms, and so forth, basically what we call a sweep, a security sweep, we are looking for a possibility of an explosive device being put there. And so our technical people are running through looking for a possible explosive device, because an explosive device doesn't have to be set off by pushing a button right there where the bomb is. It can be done remotely. So we are doing this, a visual inspection, a technical inspection, and even with bomb sniffing dogs. We are looking at a sort of a sterile area from a distance of someone that could fire a handgun or a rifle at the arrival site or departure site. And as you recall, the last 3 assassination attempts were at sites where the automobile was. When President Reagan was departing the hotel in Washington, in California, 2 attempts on former President Ford were at sites near the automobile, the Squeaky Fromm and the Sarah Jane Moore incidents.
Along those lines, how has the security for the president increased since the Hinckley incident itself?
Well, first of all, I might say that we're always under a constant review, in-house review on what we're doing and why we're doing it. We always have to look at ourselves and not be content that what we're doing is the best of what we're doing. We, of course, we learn from our mistakes also. And without going into any specifics, because I can't, because of certain intelligence information and because of certain recommendations made by the Treasury Oversight Committee subsequent to the attempted assassination of President Reagan, we have, in certain areas, become stricter and such. One of the things I think a lot of the public, first time here anyway, that they've seen is the magnetometers, where we were running not only the general public through the magnetometers who were going to be in the gallery, but we even ran the state legislatures.
Does the Secret Service ask that he wear a bulletproof vest and take precautions personally?
I can say this, that the president does have one, and I think we would probably always recommend it, but the president is the president, and he has the option to wear it or not to wear it. Now, whether he does or he doesn't, I can't comment on that.
We had a large number of state police officers that were involved. We have never released the exact numbers for security measures, so that we anticipate that we will have other details like this in the future if the president or vice president would come back, or during the election, of course, we have the candidates that come in who are also provided Secret Service protection. And we had a large number of what we felt was adequate to the task that was assigned to us. Well, at the airport, the Marion County Sheriff's Department assumed the role of perimeter security at the time of the arrival. The motorcade then was made up primarily of state police officers working with Indianapolis police officers. The Indianapolis police helicopter provided air surveillance of the motorcade. In order to have close communications with the two agencies, there was an Indianapolis police officer with a state police officer so they could communicate from ground to air. We also had people stationed throughout the motorcade route that were observing. It's what is called swept ahead of time to make sure that there is nothing in the path of the motorcade. We worked with those other agencies. Now, as we arrived at the state capitol building, that became a bit more of our responsibility because of state property involved. We did coordinate with building security, the Capitol Security Police, who provided some assistance to us. But most of it was the state police responsibility here. And we also had people that were providing assistance to us from the outside as far as information on intelligence information that we needed to know.
Could you briefly go through us the instructions that were given to the employees here at the State House and what instructions, if any, were given to those that working across the street at the State Office Building?
To my knowledge, the instructions that were given to state employees that it was business as usual. I think that they were asked by their supervisors not to come to the Capitol building unless it was an absolute necessity in order to prevent large numbers of people in crowds. Obviously, security was very tight. The human nature of people is that they want to catch a glimpse of the president, if it's possible, when he's in our area. He's the only one that we have, and everybody wants to catch a glimpse of him. We had a concern about people crowding the balcony railings, for example, and we tried to provide for that by rope barricades, allowing people access walkways from office to office. But we wanted to keep people back from the balconies for their own protection as well as protection of the president. At the time that he made a movement inside the building where he might be visible to the various floors of the building, we asked that people not be in the hallways if they were to go into an office of some type. This was a very short restriction because he really wasn't here that long. And our main concern was when he was moving from unsecure areas to the elevator, for example.
So after weeks of planning and preparing for his two-day trip, the president is now safe and sound back at the White House. For the lawmakers, I'm Terry Bowman.
Well, that's our program for this evening. Tomorrow night on the lawmakers, there will be a whole bunch of bills that have died as a result of not getting up on second reading either in the House or the Senate today, and we're fairly confident there will be